Hi everybody, welcome back to Willie's American Guitars, and I have a gorgeous 1958 Sunburst copy of a 58 Les Paul. Honestly, I've probably owned more bursts than anybody I know, including an old black standard that I have, and if you guys back in Chicago remember, I had that gorgeous black PAF standard. This guitar, I love the look of a guitar that has a signature. The guitars that are really tight, ribbon curls and that, the super flamey ones, sometimes turn me off. It's just a little too dig me to have that. I understand the flame where guys like it. I kind of enjoy flame like this where it looks a little more natural, and there's more of these annual rings, the rings that are in the wood, not just the flame, which is from a twist in the wood. Old guys I know would call it crotch wood, where sometimes the wood in that, where there's two big branches in between there, that wood in a maple tree will produce some of this flame. They call it a disease in the tree. One of every 1,000 logs will have some sort of flame in the wood, and it's highly desirable. It's been desirable forever for fiddlebacks, and this has those natural grains in there too, the annual rings, you know, the rings that you'd normally find in a tree. And this wood looks to be a sugar maple or a broadleaf maple, which is largely available in Michigan where Gibson was made. This 58 reissue is aged from the factory. It says aged, and for me, I rather enjoy that I have little dings and scratches, and you can see this up close on our website, but there's some weather checking on it. There's a little bit of wear. It's not too crazy. There's not a bunch of nutty arm wear in, but it's not the type of thing that you're gonna worry about too much. These Les Pauls have a little bit of weight, which adds to their sustain, and this is also a very handsome color with that brown case right there too, that is also aged. And you can see it too has this kind of funky aged look to it, and this is really an interesting kind of fooler guitar. If you've ever dreamed of having a burst, I've owned a few myself, this might be something for you. Nice medium-sized neck, kind of meaty, very slight V back here, but you don't really notice it that much until you go, oh, there is kind of a V. Now, I'm playing this guitar today through a Carr Impala. The Impala is basically a blackface bassman, and I'm going to ask to come up here and look at this. It does have the preamp volume right where you'd expect near the input. There's a treble, middle, bass, reverb, and then a master volume on here. I'm not a big reverb guy. I'm going to take that off, although they have a fantastic reverb. What they really do is have a great mid-range, and I'm going to have the camera stand back. Here is the mid-range off, which is going to get kind of glassy. And then half mid-range. And then full mid-range really gives you more. Leaning a lot towards the Marshall sound, and if we juice up the power tubes, you're going to get more thump, more bass. So I'm going to bring that back down a little bit. 45 watts, a really usable club amp with a master volume on it. So it's got enough teeth, enough bottom end, it's clean, it has reverb, and the Carr Impala is an earlier model for them, but I always keep one in stock, and guys that buy these will tend to keep them because they're just such a good utility amp. Nice, clean, warm. Now, one other thing before you go. This, since we're doing a Les Paul standard, we kind of got to do a Les Paul custom, and this is an older one. Back when Gibson moved most of their stuff from Kalamazoo down to Tennessee, the factory did come out and do a couple of things that were kind of special events. This 2550 is a limited edition guitar they did for the Kalamazoo factory, and you can see it's got this 3-piece L5 neck on it. So it's curly maple, ebony, curly maple, ebony, curly maple, and that happened like on the L5s. The two-tone gold hardware where the buttons are nickel and the tuners themselves are gold. Same thing on the front. Your washer on the front is nickel. The rest of it is gold. It's kind of a cool look. The guitar has that kind of same look on it. Now this is an issue that is the tar backs, and I've heard from several people, I can't confirm this, but several people, that Gibson wasn't happy with the 4 conductor pickups, and they ended up making some with the tar back pickups, is what you'll find in the 76 Explorers. They've got pretty good crunch to them, and then this little mini switch doesn't work, and it looked like it never been wired up. As 70s Gibsons go up in value, I think we look at stuff like this with the lens of these two will become more and more interesting as time goes by. It's pretty exotic looking. They're using a really nice flame maple, the tobacco sunburst finish, that two-tone metal, and the fine tuners are kind of interesting because sometimes you're always jumping tuning here on these guitars, and where these two can get you fine-tuned in. Good neck pickup. Nice thing about some of these pickups, when you have 2 on, you roll them off. There's a big phase cancellation. As you roll off the other pickup as they react to each other. So there you go. This is a 1970. Didn't put it on the tag, but it is a 79 Gibson Les Paul. Made in the Kalamazoo factory long after Kalamazoo had started building Gibson had building solid bodies out of Kalamazoo. And of interest. So there you go, 2 really cool guitars. And this new amplifier, if you're out gigging, this amplifier has got a lot of thump, a lot of bass response, really good crunch, especially if you can bring up the volume a bit. It has a master volume. We were just playing to you on that tiny little microphone without flooding the microphone. It will wipe that microphone off the face of the earth if we turn it all the way up, and we don't want to do that. So y'all come back and we'll do that next time. Thanks for your time.